What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the latest episode of Facts Not Included, the podcast. I'm your host, Peter Cabranes, and today's another Tangent Friday. We haven't done a movie review in a bit. It's only because I haven't seen any movies really lately. I don't know. We saw a Lego movie, but I don't know. We just didn't do a review on it. Not that I didn't deserve one, but it's just like we just never did. The next movie review is going to be Captain Marvel. I can reassure you on that one. I can guarantee that. A lot of noise is what I'm calling it, is surrounding this movie. A lot of people are talking about it. A lot of people are hating on something that shouldn't be hated on yet until you see it. All this nonsense surrounding the movie, stuff that, that have been said on the left, on the right, whatever. It's very political for no reason. It's also very sexist and misogynist on levels that it's ridiculous, to be honest. There's things that are being said about the character, the actress, that should not be said ever. Also, I think that a movie should be judged based on the movie alone and not really what's surrounding it. Nothing should be talked about regardless other than the performances in the movie and the story and the writing and cinematography and stuff like that. I do not understand what is going on today. But anyway, we will be doing a review on that movie. It might be myself. It might be me and Antonio. It might be me, Antonio, and Mike. I'm not sure. But today's episode, I want to just sit down because we're getting close. We're getting close to the launch. It's likely happening now, maybe mid-April, early April, maybe end of March. We'll definitely let y'all know. We're just waiting on like one or two things, and then we could launch our website. And so I think that's what today's episode is going to be about. More or less what to expect from our website as you guys are going through it and checking it out. And we want it to be the landing page for all things Facts Not Included. We want it to be the place that you go to, really, instead of, more or less instead of our Facebook page and stuff like that, for where we currently have all of our breaking news and stuff. But we want you to be able to check our Instagram on here. We want you to be able to check our Facebook on here, our Twitter. You'll be able to go directly to those sites from our website, of course. There's going to be like links and stuff to that, icons and whatnot, badges and stuff. But, I want this to be the place where you go to check out everything related to the podcast. Also, as discussed many, many, many times, we are getting a new logo. It is something that we have been working on for a while. It's not fancy. It's not, probably the greatest thing in the world, but I think it is something that is doable for us and it'll work for the foreseeable future. If you guys are out there and you want to create a logo for us, then be our guest. We would greatly appreciate that. But the new logo that we're going to be working on is basically an homage to our current logo. It's basically a fresher take on what our good friend Matt created, and we're grateful for everything Matt did. I just think that, maybe it's a bit time for a change now. And again, it basically uses every single aspect and idea from that logo and incorporates it in this new, fresh, modern, in a sense, modern take on that Facts Not Included logo. But anyway, that being said, I just want to run through what our website's going to be and what you guys can expect from it. So, of course, on any website, you have the homepage, or at least on most websites. Some websites are fucking weird. Anyway, on our homepage, you have the taskbar at the top regarding a menu bar. Regarding our home. There's going to be several pages. So we're going to currently, what we've aimed to hit you guys with is we're going to have obviously the homepage. We're going to have an about page where you guys will be able to learn a little bit about us. The podcast page where you get to listen to episodes on your desktop. A blog or a news section. Now, these articles will be created by us. When we get to that point, I'll talk about it more. But it's a blog. It's a news section. There's going to be articles. A forum section. I want you guys to be. This is why the website was created. is for the forum. It's for you guys to be a huge part of the conversation, and that's why Facts Not Included exists, right? And then there's of course going to be. We're really excited about this one, merchandise. Really, really, really pumped for that. We are in that. That's another reason why the website hasn't been launched. We're in the process of figuring out what exactly to bring you guys and from where. And so there's those little hiccups and things that we have to figure out. So let's talk about the homepage for a bit. So the homepage is going to let you know what it's all about. You know what we're all about here at Facts Not Included. There's also, like I said, there's going to be buttons and little icons you can click to get to those specific pages, and that's really what the homepage is all about. It's an aggregation of everything that the website is going to entail. You scroll down a bit, there's going to be, of course, like I said, the blogs and stuff like that. So that we currently have a listen to the podcast section about Facts Not Included or our new FNI logo. Join a community, which is where you'll be able to hit on the join the forums or read forum posts. And then there's the store section. And then if you go a little bit lower, read the latest stories from Facts Not Included. Those are going to be the articles that we create for you guys on a basis in which we have yet to determine. I'm assuming it's going to be just at random. We're going to just have new blogs or articles at random. That is not going to be as streamlined in the sense of scheduling as the podcast is. I think it's just going to be like, hey, being that our podcast is on Fridays and certain news stories come out randomly because that's just how the world works. Those articles or blogs or whatever you want to call them, those will be where we might cover certain stories that we don't necessarily want or need or have the chance to cover on a audio podcast. You'll be able to read it on there. If you scroll down a little bit further is our Instagram account and as well as our Twitter feed. But yeah, we've been pretty happy, I want to say, with our Instagram account. We're pleasantly surprised about the amount of followers we have currently. It's obviously a very big surprise to us, at least to me, as to how many people are actually following us on Instagram for something that we just started very recently. But yeah, kudos to you guys for actually doing that. And again, let other people know, let other people know that our website's going to exist, and stuff like that, and that we have other social media platforms. Anyway, let's go to our About page. So our About page is going to be, it's currently titled, What is Facts Not Included? And it's basically a little, synopsis of who we are, what we hope to become. That's the other thing. You have to remember, we're more than just a podcast. And we've talked about this before. We're more than just a podcast, or at least we will hope to be more than just a podcast. So it gives you a little description of that. And it's also a chance for you guys to learn a little bit about us. There's going to be short bios written by us for us, So there's going to be a section on me, on Mike, on Antonio. And then there's going to be a very cool moment, I think, over here as well. Not only are you going to get to learn more about Facts Not Included, and you'll learn more about us, there's also going to be a little portion where you could join our mailing list. So now, what I want to say about that is it's email, of course, and with that you'll get certain emails from us down the line. It's going to be where you get to really be a part of what we have to say. So there might be some events or some cool things we want you guys to know about, and we'll let you know through that mailing list and whatnot. And if you want to just give us a shout out and whatnot, then you feel free. There's a message portion there. Let us know what you guys think of the website and whatnot. And yeah. So that's the About page. And I think the About page is very simple, very streamlined, as any website is. I've created a website before. It's not my first website that I've ever created. So, I think the About page is very key to figuring out what your identity is, at least in terms of your website. So anyway, let's go to the podcast section of our factsnotincluded.com. This is where you'll get to listen to the podcast. Very simple. You'll get to listen to the podcast. The latest episodes are going to be up here, and you'll be able to listen to the older episodes while you're on here as well. Everything is on here, basically. Everything that's on Podbean and iTunes and whatnot and Spotify, everywhere you can get the podcast, they will be on this little player over here on the podcast section of the website. Now, To get to all these sites are pretty simple from what I understand. I made it in a way where everyone could get to them, and it's going to be very simple. So if you want to go to the About, it's factsnotincluded.com/about, factsnotincluded.com/podcast would be, or no, sorry, factsnotincluded.com/episodes, I think. Yes, episodes is what that would be when you go on there. But again, site's not launching it anytime in the next couple of days, so once we figure that out, you guys will get the specific addresses for the site and pages. Anyway, so you'll get to listen to the podcast on the podcast section, of course. And remember, if you at all, any time while you're on the site, if you at all, at any moment, want to reach us on YouTube or Instagram or Twitter or Facebook, you can do so. There is going to be icons throughout the website on the taskbar up there at the top where everything is at. So yeah, I just wanted to remind you about that. Let's go to the blog section. So the blog section, this is where I want to talk about the most, as well as the forum section. So with the blogs or the articles or whatever you want to call them, like I said, they're going to be created by Mike, by me, by Antonio, and by probably a couple other people we are in talks with to do stuff like this with us. This is where the people behind Facts Not Included, remind you, none of us get paid. So this is all something that we do out of the kindness of our heart because we love what we do. We love movies, we love music, we love just entertainment as a whole. Not so much maybe the lives of the entertainers, but what they bring to us. You get what I'm saying? And Facts Not Included, as you know, it's in the name. Like, facts are not included in a lot of things that we do, but that's not always true. That's not quite always the idea that we get there. But it's just a cute little name that we use for our production. That being said, do also sometimes take what we write with a grain of salt. There's going to be a lot of opinions in what we write. In a lot of cases, unless otherwise noted, there's a lot of opinions here. And if we quote someone, okay, cool, we're quoting someone, then we might take them apart and deconstruct what they're saying and give our opinions based off of those quotes or something. So always keep that in mind. We are called Facts Not Included partially for a reason. We are called that for a reason. So keep that in mind. There is a lot of opinions thrown around, and that's the industry that we live in today. But we do respect when people do lay down their facts, and we respect that unless they make absolutely no sense, and then we destroy them. But anyway, that's not here nor there. But anyway, so the blog section. Before I destroy this by rambling as always, the blog section is going to be broken down into a couple sections. We might fix it up a bit before we launch, but currently there's going to be blogs on podcast news. So this is where any one of us give you guys the latest news regarding the podcast. Like, hey, maybe, we're thinking of doing XYZ, and we write a whole article about it and whatnot, and what to expect from the podcast, and maybe other things, anything pertaining to the podcast that needs to be written out in blog form that doesn't necessarily need to be a tweet will be put in here. There's also a section on movies. So these are all blogs or movie news, or thoughts that we had on a movie, thoughts that we had on an actor, an actress, or whatever it is that it may be that pertains to the world of film would be in the movie section. The music, same thing. Anything that relates to music that we've heard, we liked, we've listened to, people that are in the music industry, whatever it may be, again, in the music section. And a books section. If any one of us have read a book that's new, old, whatever, that we want to highlight again, or whatever, same thing as well on there. At least I like to read. I know, hard to believe. I like to read a lot. So you might always see a book recommendation from me on there, or older books that I've read in the past that I want to recommend and make sure all of you guys listen to it. Okay, so that's the blog section or news section. Again, we're currently in the air with the name. But here's the part that I'm very excited about. A part of the website that I think years ago, when we created Facts Not Included, was discussed we discussed this a few times, and we had this conversation about what exactly what are we about, and I always told the guys that we're a community of film fans, we're a community of film nerds or whatnot, and we want other people to have the ability to join in on the conversations, and I want that to be something that is continued throughout what we've done on Facebook and Twitter. I want that to continue on our website. Best way to do that is having a forum post system, whatever. A forum, basically. I don't know why I don't know what I'm talking about, but clearly, you know what I'm saying. I wanted us to have a forum and where people could just discuss the latest episode that we dropped, talk about the latest movie news that they heard, and ramble and discuss and theorize whatever it is that's on their minds. And so the way currently that it's going to be broken up is the same idea as movies, music, literature, books, and then a what's on your mind section. So these are things that don't quite fit those criteria. So movies, let's discuss the latest movies here, latest releases to the classics that that changed our lives and stuff like that. That's what I want the movie section to be about. Music, let's discuss music here from all the eras. Literature, let's talk about books in this forum. And then what's on your mind section is going to be about the categories that don't necessarily fit. Thinking of something random, discuss here with all of the community. So that is exactly what I want this to be about. So you choose a category and then join in on the discussions or create your very own post. Now, being able to add to the community means you have to log in. Now, logging into the forum does not mean that I'm sure you could post anonymously. That's something I haven't figured out yet. But logging in is not something that's going to change anything other than here's your login for the post. The reason you log in is so that you could track, just like on any forum, track your posts, track your comments, track all that stuff for yourselves to see where you have you want to go back to some, I don't remember that time I commented, but I know I said this. You could always go back on there. It's really cool. The way it's set up, the way we have it set up is really fun, and you guys could have your own followers on there. It's really fascinating. It's great. It's great. So I'm really excited for this. What exactly is the pointofactsnotincluded.com? And I think it's something that I've discussed a couple of times already on this episode. But I think the whole pointofactsnotincluded.com is for the community that is currently following us and will continue to grow, has a voice in what is being said, not only on our shows, but also in the world of entertainment. We gather the news for you guys. We sit down, we discuss the crazy nonsense that's going on in the world, and we put that together and make an episode, but then we want more to happen from there. And currently we're not really getting that as much as we would like, but what we want is, like you said, we want you guys to discuss, we want you guys to talk, we want you to theorize about either what we have said or what's being said in the world of entertainment. And so we want this to be the place where everyone comes and sits down. It's kind of like a virtual coffee shop, a virtual laundromat in a sense, where everybody, a virtual pub. These are places that have, people get together and while they're doing their business, whatever, they're drinking their coffee, doing their clothes, washing their clothes or drinking. They sit down and have conversations with individuals they normally wouldn't have conversations with, or they do have conversations with people that they are friends with. And in some of these conversations are some of the most fascinating things that are said to individuals, because you're in this certain environment, the way it changes you, whatever it may be, the science behind it. of not ever meeting that person again, so you could just tell them anything. That's what I want. That's what we want Facts Not Included to be about. We want this to be the place where you just sit down, talk your mind, and feel good about it. Discuss entertainment in a way that most people only dreamed they could. Or in longer form than Twitter allows, or whatever. We want to have that here, and we want to be able to have, with that happening, you guys could be a part of our show by that being allowed to happen. We'll discuss some of the forum posts. We'll discuss some of the blog posts that you guys make, or comments or whatnot, and we'll have fun with it. It's something it's all about fun at the end of the day, and that leads us to the last part of our website, which is the store. Again, we only want to make content available. Merchandise that is available to individuals that could basically afford it. We don't want to rip you out of your hard-earned money. Merchandise is something we've always discussed since the early days of Facts Not Included. Like, I remember those moments of like, oh man, I can't wait till the days that we could sell our own T-shirts or something. And I think now's the time. We've done it. We've done the podcast long enough where I think maybe now's the time to start doing something like that. But anyway, I think you're gonna appreciate what's on there. It's not all Facts Not Included related in a sense of just the logos. We're in the process of creating some quotes that have been quite famous here on the podcast or in our daily lives that I think you guys will appreciate and want to wear maybe on your person, or put on a phone case, laptop case, a sticker, whatever it may be. I think you guys are going to appreciate the content of merchandise that we're creating for all of you. Again, doesn't mean you have to buy it. It's just something that's there in the event you guys want to rock some Facts Not Included merch. But yeah, I'm really excited for this. The website's going to be launching very soon. Again, I'm sorry it was supposed to launch this month, and I think we still will launch this month. Fingers crossed. A couple things holding us back. I don't want to get into that because it's a bit personal, but yeah, we're going to get there. We're going to do it. I think it's going to be April. Yeah, I'm super stupid excited. Oh man, really pumped, really excited. Let all your friends know about the podcast by doing this. Let everybody know that we have a Facebook, we have a Twitter, Facts Not Included, the podcast. We also have a YouTube channel. We also have an Instagram now. I know, crazy. But if you want to listen to the podcast, this is what it's all about, right? If you want to listen to the podcast, of course, check us out on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Podcast Addict, Podbean, and wherever else you get your podcasts. Also, let's see. Just let everybody know about us. Let them follow. Comment. That's another thing. Comment your thoughts of the episodes on iTunes, Spotify, wherever else you listen to the show. Make sure you're commenting on what you like us and whatnot. Do all the stuff that makes us feel good inside by giving us the numbers, that type of feeling. We like to know who's consistent, who's still following, who's watching us and whatnot. And so by doing that, it really makes our day, and it really helps us out, because by doing that, it allows us to bring the content you guys really, really deserve, without a doubt. But yeah, so that's been Facts Not Included. This has been an episode about the website that's going to be coming very soon. We'll keep you posted on all of our social medias regarding the website. And yeah, I'm pretty excited about this. I keep saying that. I probably should just launch it. Just should launch it instead of saying I'm excited about it. But I am. So of course, as any website, there's going to be a desktop portion of it, and of course, there's a phone thing. That's another thing we're working on still, is the phone side of it. But that being said, anyway, we hope you guys enjoyed this episode. We'll see you very soon. Check out the Captain Marvel review, which will drop in a couple of days, on Monday. And if you're already hearing this past Monday, well then, god damn it, check out the Captain Marvel review. Anyway, peace out, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Bye-bye.